Have you ever found yourself waking up every day, going through the same routine, and feeling like nothing changes? Do you feel like there's a pattern of repetitive thoughts and behaviors that you just can't break free from, no matter how hard you try? It's almost like you're living out someone else's script, playing a role that isn't aligned with your potential. What if I told you that there is a hidden secret, one that could activate a powerful shift in your brain, your body, and your reality itself? This is a secret so profound that it can tap into the power of your mind and create a future so aligned with your deepest desires that it feels as if the universe is bending in your favor. This is the forbidden manifestation secret, a key to unlocking the supergenius mind within you. Let's dive deep into the science behind this concept, why your past is holding you back, and how you can break free by unlocking the power of your thoughts and emotions. We often hear the phrase, "Live in the present moment," but most people fail to truly understand the power of this concept. It is more than just a simple platitude. In fact, the present moment holds the key to transforming your life. If you want to shift your reality and activate your supergenius mind, understanding the present moment and how your brain interacts with it is crucial. Let's start with a fact that many people find surprising. Your past is not as true as you think it is. Neuroscience has revealed something incredibly fascinating. Over 50% of what we remember about our past isn't even accurate. This means that much of what you believe about your own life, your experiences, and your identity is, in fact, a distorted version of reality. This distortion happens because of the emotional responses you've had to events in your life. The brain is not a static entity. It changes and evolves over time. The neural circuits that process information today are not the same as the ones that processed information 15, 20, or 30 years ago. Every experience you encounter triggers an emotional reaction, which in turn alters your chemical state. The more you replay an event, the more your brain remembers it through the lens of the emotions you felt at the time. This leads to the creation of a narrative that may not reflect what actually happened, but rather how you felt at that moment. This is where it gets even more interesting. Your emotional reactions have a profound impact on your body. Every time you experience an emotion, your body undergoes a chemical change. If you don't process that emotion, if you allow it to linger, it shifts from a simple emotional reaction into a mood. And if you keep feeding it, if it lasts for days, weeks, or even months, it can become a temperament. Eventually, if these emotional states go unaddressed for years, they can solidify into personality traits. Think about it. How often do you hear someone say, "I'm just an angry person," or "I'm always anxious"? These aren't just personality traits. They're the result of emotional patterns that have been reinforced over a long period. These emotional states, when left unchecked, can trap you in a loop of negativity and limit your potential for growth. So why do we cling to these emotional states? It's not that we want to be stuck in the past, but rather that these emotional responses have become familiar. The brain tends to gravitate toward what is familiar because it feels safe. Even if that familiarity is rooted in pain or negativity, the brain prefers the known over the unknown. This is the essence of why people stay stuck in cycles of reactivity and don't realize the power they have to shift their emotional state and, by extension, their reality. However, the moment you stop reacting to your past and choose to respond differently, you begin to unlock a new version of yourself. A version that is not defined by what happened yesterday. The first step is to understand that your reactions are choices. Every time you feel a negative emotion rising within you, you have the opportunity to pause, reflect, and choose a different response. When you stop allowing your past to dictate your emotional state, you free yourself from the habitual loops that hold you back. Now, let's dive into how the brain works in relation to your environment and how this impacts your ability to manifest a new reality. Your brain is constantly interacting with the world around you, responding to every person, place, and thing you encounter. From the moment you wake up in the morning, your brain is primed to react to your environment. It has a neurological network for every person you know, every place you go, and everything you do. This neurological wiring is what makes your daily routine feel so automatic. You wake up, see the same people, go to the same places, and engage in the same activities day after day. Your brain activates the same neural circuits based on these familiar cues, which leads you to think the same thoughts. And those thoughts are shaped by the world around you. But here's the kicker. As long as you keep thinking the same thoughts, you will keep creating the same reality. This is why change can feel so difficult for many people. The brain is designed for efficiency, which is great for survival but not necessarily for personal transformation. If you keep responding to the same external triggers in the same way, you keep reinforcing the same neural patterns, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of repetition. So how do you break free from this cycle? The answer lies in thinking greater than your environment. To truly change your reality, you must stop letting your external world control how you think and feel. You have to learn to transcend your environment and think beyond your current circumstances. This is where the concept of thinking greater than your environment comes into play. It means you must cultivate a mindset that is not limited by what is happening around you. Instead of reacting to your environment, you must respond by consciously choosing to think beyond it. But how do you do that? How do you shift your thoughts in such a way that they no longer mirror the conditions of your life? The answer is simple, yet profound. You must have a vision that is bigger than the life you are currently living. A vision that pulls you towards something greater than what your senses can perceive right now. Think about the great figures in history: Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, the Wright brothers, Joan of Arc. None of them could see their future with their physical senses, but their minds held a vision so powerful that it became their reality. They didn't have the physical evidence of their dreams, but they believed in them with such intensity that they began to live as if those dreams had already come true. This is the essence of manifestation, living in the future now. The ability to believe in something you cannot see, touch, or experience yet is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal. This kind of belief is not based on physical evidence, but on the unwavering conviction that your vision is possible. This is the kind of thinking that moves mountains and changes the course of history. To manifest something, you must first believe in it with your entire being. When you hold a vision of your future so vividly in your mind that it feels as real as the present moment, you are literally rewiring your brain. Research in neuroscience shows that the brain doesn't distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. When you rehearse your vision in your mind, focusing on it with enough intensity, you activate neural circuits that align with that future reality. This process is not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about immersing yourself in your vision, feeling it with every fiber of your being. The more you focus on your vision, the more your brain begins to rewire itself to match that future reality. Over time, this rewiring becomes permanent, and your thoughts, emotions, and actions will begin to align with your vision. Visualization is not just a woo-woo concept. It's rooted in neuroscience. When you visualize an event or outcome in your mind, your brain activates the same neural circuits as if the event were happening in real life. This process is known as neuroplasticity. Your brain has the ability to change and adapt based on your experiences and thoughts. When you visualize your desired reality, you are essentially training your brain to believe that it has already occurred. The more you practice this, the more you condition your brain to think in ways that align with your vision. This rewiring is what allows you to begin acting in ways that are consistent with your desired reality. It's also what enables you to see opportunities and possibilities that were once hidden from view. But belief alone is not enough. To truly manifest your vision, you must embody the emotions that come with it. Emotion is the driving force behind manifestation. When you feel the emotions associated with your vision, you send powerful signals to your body, signaling it to start acting as if your vision has already come to fruition. This is where the power of the present moment comes into play. When you focus on the emotions of your vision in the present, you are training your body to act as if it has already experienced the desired outcome. The more you immerse yourself in these emotions, the more you condition your body to respond in ways that align with your vision. This process is the foundation of manifestation: thought, emotion, and action all aligning to create the reality you desire. As you begin to shift your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you will inevitably face resistance. Your brain will try to revert back to old patterns, old ways of thinking, and old habits. This is because your body has been conditioned to respond in certain ways. But this is also where the real transformation happens. The moment you step into the unknown, you are moving beyond the limitations of your current self. It is in this space of uncertainty that the magic happens. It's uncomfortable, but yes. But it's in this discomfort that you will find the greatest growth. And this is where the supergenius mind comes into play. When you are able to think greater than your environment, you are no longer bound by the limitations of your past. You are free to create a new future, one thought, one emotion, and one action at a time. This is where the magic happens. The more you think about your desired future, the more your brain begins to rewire itself. This process, known as neuroplasticity, is a profound and remarkable feature of your brain. Essentially, neuroplasticity refers to your brain's ability to change its structure and function in response to your thoughts, experiences, and environment. Contrary to the old belief that the brain's structure was fixed after a certain age, we now know that the brain remains adaptable throughout life. This means that you can reshape your neural pathways, even as an adult, to align with your goals, desires, and future potential. As you focus on your desired future, your brain begins to form new connections, strengthening neural pathways that align with the mindset required to achieve those goals. For example, if you consistently think about success, abundance, or love, your brain's neural architecture will start to mirror the patterns of someone who embodies those qualities. Essentially, your brain starts to resemble the mindset of a successful, abundant, and loving individual, because your thoughts shape your mental and emotional experiences. But here's the twist. This rewiring process isn't just about thinking. It's about embodying the future you want. You see, the true secret to unlocking your supergenius mind lies in this connection between mind and body. Your body is not merely a passive vessel. It is an active participant in the manifestation of your desires. This is where the forbidden manifestation secret comes into play. When you deeply visualize your future and you feel it as though it's already happening, your brain doesn't differentiate between a real event and a mental rehearsal. As your brain rewires itself to align with this new reality, your body starts to respond. It reacts as though you are already living that reality. This means that the thoughts you focus on, the feelings you cultivate, and the beliefs you hold become embedded in your physical state. Your body becomes a mirror of your thoughts, and as you begin to internalize and live as though your desired future is already true, the transformation becomes inevitable. The body responds not just to what's happening in the external world, but also to what's happening within you. Neuroplasticity is at the heart of how you can activate your supergenius mind and truly manifest your future. When you focus on a vision, whether it's a career goal, a personal relationship, or a health goal, the neurons in your brain fire together, creating a stronger connection. This is the foundational principle behind the concept that neurons that fire together wire together. So, if you repeatedly visualize yourself succeeding, feeling abundant, or enjoying love, your brain starts to wire those neural pathways as if those experiences are already happening. In practical terms, this means that by creating a vivid mental image of your future and continually focusing on it, you essentially set the foundation for new thought patterns and habits. Over time, these new neural connections begin to create lasting changes in how you perceive yourself and your reality. Your brain starts to function as though you are already living your desired future, helping you manifest that reality by aligning your thoughts and actions. Neuroplasticity also means that the brain is able to discard old, unhelpful patterns. If you've spent years thinking negatively, or if your mental pathways have been dominated by fear, doubt, or insecurity, neuroplasticity gives you the ability to rewire those thought patterns. Through focused intention and consistent mental practice, you can literally retrain your brain to think differently. Instead of being stuck in a cycle of self-doubt or scarcity, you can cultivate new pathways of confidence, abundance, and possibility. While thinking about your desired future is crucial, it's the act of embodying that future that accelerates the process. This is where the line between mind and body blurs, and the real power of neuroplasticity comes into play. When you begin to imagine your future self, not just with your thoughts, but with your emotions, your posture, and your physiology, you send powerful signals to your brain and body that reinforce your new reality. For example, think about how a successful entrepreneur might carry themselves. They exude confidence, purpose, and energy. Their physical presence communicates that they are certain of their success, even before that success is realized in the external world. Now, imagine that you begin to embody this same energy. You start to feel as though you are already living your dream. You stand taller, speak more confidently, and approach life with a sense of self-assurance. Your brain and body don't know the difference between physical reality and your internal experience. When you begin to embody the emotions, energy, and behavior of your future self, your brain interprets it as if it is already happening. This emotional and physical embodiment aligns your entire being, mind and body, with the future you're manifesting. The key is to feel the emotions of your future self. If you want to manifest success, begin to feel the emotions that someone successful would feel. If you want love, embody the emotions of love and connection. These emotional states trigger a chemical response in your body that signals your brain to reinforce these positive, empowered states. Your cells, in turn, respond to these signals and begin to shift their function to match your desired future. Now, let's dive deeper into the science behind emotional reprogramming. Emotions are not just fleeting feelings. They are powerful forces that shape your behavior and your reality. Emotions are linked to specific chemical processes in the body. When you experience an emotion, your brain releases neurotransmitters and hormones that directly influence your mood, energy, and focus. For example, when you feel happy or excited, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, two neurotransmitters associated with feelings of well-being and pleasure. These chemicals promote positive behavior, drive, and motivation. When you feel at peace or calm, your brain releases oxytocin, a hormone linked to feelings of love, trust, and connection. On the flip side, if you experience negative emotions like fear, guilt, or anger, your brain releases stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals can make you feel tense, anxious, or reactive. They're useful in short bursts when you need to respond to danger, but prolonged exposure to these stress chemicals can lead to negative health outcomes, including chronic stress, burnout, and even disease. The impact of emotions on your body is not just psychological, it's physiological. The chemicals your body releases during emotional states actually affect your physical health. For instance, chronic stress can suppress your immune system, impair digestion, and hinder your ability to heal from injury or illness. This is why emotional health is so important, not just for your mindset, but for your overall well-being. When you hold on to negative emotions, such as fear or anger, you continue to release the corresponding stress chemicals, reinforcing a cycle of tension and limitation. In this way, your emotions literally keep you stuck in the past, replaying old patterns over and over. The longer you hold onto these emotions, the more ingrained they become in your body and mind, making it difficult to break free from them. But here's the transformative truth. You can break free from this cycle by reprogramming your emotions. Instead of letting your past traumas, fears, or disappointments dictate your emotional responses, you can choose to reframe your thoughts and emotional states. By focusing on the positive emotions of success, love, peace, and abundance, you begin to release the corresponding chemicals in your body, changing your mindset and your experience. One of the most powerful tools for emotional reprogramming is visualization. By vividly imagining yourself already living your desired future, you activate the same neural pathways and emotional responses that would occur if that future were happening in the present moment. Visualization has been shown in numerous studies to have a profound effect on both mental and physical performance. Athletes, for example, often use visualization techniques to rehearse their performance, improving their results in real life. This process works because the brain doesn't distinguish between real and imagined experiences in the same way we think it does. When you visualize yourself succeeding, your brain reacts as though those events are already happening. Your body responds in kind, releasing the emotions and chemicals that correspond to success, abundance, and happiness. Over time, these visualizations help to shift your brain's wiring, reinforcing the neural pathways associated with the future you want to create. Here's the truth: change is uncomfortable. Whenever you begin to venture into the unknown, whether it's thinking, acting, or feeling differently, discomfort is inevitable. Your brain and body are conditioned to react in certain ways, and when you break free from those patterns, it feels like the death of the old self. But paradoxically, this is where the true magic of transformation lies. When you stop making the same choices that lead to the same experiences, you step into a new version of yourself. This is the moment of transformation, the moment you step into the river of change. Transformation isn't just an abstract concept, it's deeply biological. The old self must die at a neurological, chemical, and hormonal level. Your body has been conditioned to respond in certain ways to external stimuli. When you shift your thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, your body begins to break down these old patterns. This change isn't easy and often feels uncertain, but if you push through the discomfort, you begin to create new experiences aligned with your desired future. As you repeat these new behaviors and emotional responses, your body becomes conditioned to them. Over time, what was once uncomfortable becomes second nature. This is how you activate the supergenius mind, through repetition, embodying the emotions of your future, and breaking free from past patterns. The concept of neuroplasticity is the foundation of transformation. Your brain is not static, it's incredibly dynamic, constantly reorganizing itself in response to new thoughts and experiences. Every time you make a new choice, engage in new behaviors, or shift your emotions, your brain forms new neural pathways. Old pathways weaken, and new ones are strengthened. At first, these new pathways may be weak, but over time, they become stronger, forming the foundation for your new identity. Your emotions and thoughts don't just live in your mind. They trigger chemical responses throughout your entire body. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are released in response to fear and anxiety, while hormones like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin are associated with positive emotions like peace and joy. When you shift away from fear and embrace positive emotions, your body's chemical makeup changes, supporting your transformation. These hormonal shifts create the foundation for lasting change, aligning your body with your new mindset and behaviors. Fear is a natural response to change, as your brain perceives the unknown as a threat to your survival. This discomfort is a sign that you're stepping into new territory. Instead of resisting fear, recognize it as a marker that growth is happening. Fear isn't an objective truth, it's an emotional response to unfamiliarity. When you face it and continue to take action, you rewire your brain to operate in alignment with your new self. Over time, the fear will diminish as you become more confident in your ability to navigate the unknown. Transformation requires consistency. The discomfort of change may initially feel overwhelming, but it's through repetition that new neural pathways are solidified. As you continue to make new choices and embody new behaviors, these changes become second nature. Repetition is crucial for creating lasting change, whether it's a new mindset, behavior, or emotional response. Change is like stepping into a river. At first, the water may feel cold and uncomfortable, but once you take the first step, the current begins to guide you forward. Transformation requires trust. The discomfort is temporary, and on the other side of it lies a new version of yourself. The more you lean into the discomfort, the more you allow the river of change to carry you toward your desired future. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires patience and consistency. There will be moments of progress and moments of regression, but the key is to stay committed to the journey. Just as a river carves its path over time, your transformation will unfold in its own time. Celebrate small wins, and trust that each step forward brings you closer to the new version of yourself.